When did you and Big find out that Faith was missing around with Pop?
I mean, from my understanding and recollection, it was from the first time we heard "Hit 'Em Up." You know what I'm saying? Like it was no rumblings, there was no conversation, there was, Tupac was, you know, they was after the Soul Train incident in LA, it sort of wasn't even in our mind really. Because we in New York, we were safe. We this is our home, right? So there was no feeling, we had other feelings to be guarded against. Our own East Coast, we was guarding against that feeling, right? But nah, it was, from what I remember, it was the record that, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what, really? You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, even to the point, this is what I tell people about um Big's competitiveness, right? Even though, you know, who shot us, uh, people, I'm glad people are really clarifying that record about it being about Pac, which it wasn't, right? But for clarity purposes, the records that he did come in his own, because I am a real MC, I live and breathe this, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did, you know, if if Faith have, she probably have Tupac's, you know what I'm saying, twins, you know what I'm saying? Uh 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 Leave your body twisted round and round, upside down. Like, yeah, those are for sure. Because I needed to hold this, because I can come at you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's what they do. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, it's rap is rap. You know what I mean? And Big was competitive like that, bro.
So when y'all had that run in with Pac and Suge at the Soul Train Awards, what happened?
We went out there with the understanding that that could happen, right? Not knowing what was on Puff in her mind, but was on my mind that that encounter can happen, right? And um, so our schedule moved us around in a way where, under any circumstances that encounter happened, here's the counter measure to that. So when we land in LA, we meet Puff and them at the hotel, at the airport, and they say, okay, we're taking Big, and you go wherever you going with everybody else. And I said, no, Big's coming with me. Let me know what time he has to be there, and we'll have him there. So, but our plan is that directly after the show, we're gonna get in our limos and head straight to the airport and catch a flight, because we were scheduled to do Greensboro for a show. So, as the performance ends, I'm sitting in the audience at this time. Um, but we're surrounded by a bunch of death row niggas, Bloods and shit. You could tell, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell we're surrounded. So, all right, we're gonna get out of this month as soon as Big come off the stage. So by the time we get off the stage and we go backstage, where the limos and all of the cars are pulling up, they got the whole outside of the back surrounded with Bloods, none but Bloods everywhere, right? So all of a sudden you see Suge and them pull in, Tupac in the Hummer. And, from there, the story is the same. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else's story is sort of the same. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that I did is I stood in front of Big, you know what I mean? Like, and was shocked at Suge, like, because it was really my first encounter of him. And, I witnessed him, telling motherfuckers, yo, he got a strap, he got a strap. And I was kind of like blown away, like, damn, how we living? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to send us to jail in LA? Like, that's how we living. So, after, that happened, we got in the cars and we sort of went about our way, you know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know how many months in between that and them having to go back to LA. I know we came back to New York and we got a lot of shit done, you know what I'm saying? Because Big was starting to work on his new album. Um, but I don't know the time period between that time and the death. But other than that, it was, we like I said, I'm still upset and a little shocked because of what we were going through back then, for them to not even be care about, especially coming from me about, yo, what do you think, happened? Or what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And nobody's ever said anything, which is kind of like driving me to be able to tell my own version of the story.
What was Pac reaction?
I mean, he was just being Pac, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was being the animated version, because I never personally met him. I was going to meet him the night of the studio incident. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard about him a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was finally going to meet him. But he was just as animated, you know what I mean, from what you've seen in the past, you know what I'm saying? Spitting at the cameras and him, you know, just energetic and, sort of, this untamable energy. You know what I'm saying? The dude stepped out of the window of the Hummer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he didn't open the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have visions of him where he's hanging out the window at paparazzi, he came out of the window with that same energy. You know what I'm saying? And him and C's was going back and forth. And this is kind of how I knew Pac didn't really, because on site and I'm about that life is you come and let's start the melee. Right? Here goes some punches thrown like it's on. They sitting here clowning each other, him and C's. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is not real. You know what I mean? Like, the energy, Pac's energy, because he could have went at C's. You know what I'm saying? He could have, if it was some physical shit, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have been worried about me standing in front of Big. You wouldn't have been worried about the nigga standing. You would have came with that energy, like, let's do it, let's get busy. And it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Like I said, Suge and them was bullies, bro. They was in they man. No. They was not. I'm telling you, it for him to have died, you know what I'm saying? For him to have died is weird to me, bro. That's why I said it wasn't there. It had to be more to the story than, you know what I mean? Because I've never, even in me doing my research into the story and what I'm doing, them dudes they wasn't hunters. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, I know what a hunter is. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to tell me that you hunted this dude and you plotted and you schemed and you finished your mission. Nah, that was more than what you guys was giving off. You guys didn't have that in y'all. From what I found out. You know what I mean? Like, now there's people around y'all that had the ability and thought like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, them Suge and Pac and all them dudes wasn't that, bro.
They say Puffy ran when he seen Pac and shit.
I mean, Puff always had nervous energy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what people expect from Puff. Like why are people shocked that he's going through what he going through and the life that he led? You know what I'm saying? Like his whole character, his whole aura was that. You know what I mean? Like so. Like I said, man, my beef with Puff is that nah, you ain't do nobody, you ain't do the people that helped you benefit, right? You ain't do right by them. You know what I'm saying? All of the people that that went back to the Lord went back suffering. They were never none of them died in peace. Andre, Hev, the people at the college. You know what I'm saying? They all died suffering and miserable pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you ain't, no, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I'm not bitter about none of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just bitter about, that you fooled people for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I would have been having this conversation, but Miss Wallace prevented me from having it. You know what I mean? So now the handcuffs is off. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect y'all. I don't respect what you do. I don't respect how you got to where you at. I don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't help nobody. You helped yourself. You know what I'm saying? You bled and you manipulated, and then on top of it, you motherfuckers made people believe that other people were the bad guys. And it's not the case. Cause like I said, there is no way. And if you could take the rest that you could the mafia, there's no way. There's no way the motherfucker shouldn't be 100 million up. C's included. Like you, man, man, that. That. Nah, I ain't sitting back no more. I ain't chilling no more. You used them. You used them when Biggie died. You needed them to go on the bad. He couldn't have did a bad boy tour without Kim and C's. While the world was in mourning. He couldn't have went out there and said, yo, I miss my man Big, and not have C's and Kim right there to remind them that Big is still in the building. You know what I'm saying? You use them up and then spit them out. No longer. No, and then you have the ability. You can still, the reason why Big right now would be using them. He'd be saying, here go $500,000 for you, here go $1,000,000 for you, here go this for you. We gonna keep getting this money together. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, they wanna steal the money and then they wanna be like, all right, don't answer their phone call. No, I'm not here. No, I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you?
Yeah, that's some real talk, man. Do you remember Big reaction when Pac got killed?
I mean, it was, it was, it was, it was like he said, um, unbelievable. You know, he said it out his own mouth. You know what I'm saying? He was like, again, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he gonna get through that. You know what I'm saying? But he was distraught by it because, like I said, you can't have a relationship with a person and then they die and they died and y'all relationship wasn't fixed based on a lie. You know what I'm saying? Based on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can imagine what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's why I take the credit. I came up with the hook, you're nobody till somebody kills you. I heard it in my sleep. And I told it to him. You know what I'm saying? And I said it to him. I didn't in a song structure or nothing. I just heard the words. And he and that's what but it was, I thought about Pac when I heard it, you know what I'm saying? And that's when that's what the song he made to, in reference to Tupac, that people don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're nobody till somebody kills you. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how he felt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, so now all of a sudden you guys, it's like Nip. You know what I'm saying? It's like now all of a sudden, Pop Smoke, now all of a sudden you get to, oh man, this kid was dope. And I'm guilty of it as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of
No,
it.
no, no, wait. Flag on play, flag on play, flag on play. No, no. I mean, if we looking at that, I mean, Me Against the World did go platinum when he was in prison. All Eyes on Me was like at 6 times platinum when he was actually still alive. So
Yeah, but I'm not talking about whether people knew him or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the compassion that you have for him now. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the not the brilliance of the artist. I'm talking about now all of a sudden before, when he was alive, he was this, oh, he's this, he's that. You see what I'm saying? He's this menace to society. You see what I'm saying? So now when a person dies, now it's all of a sudden he's a poet. He's, like how you said, flag on the play, and it's just a misinterpretation of what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's never been about, like I tell people, somebody said it about me, like, what are you talking about? Jay-Z was sold 5 million albums. By the time, what was it? His next album came out. And I'm saying, nah, I'm not telling you that he didn't sell a lot of records. But and I know, and anybody who knows about the music business knows that there's more in it to just selling records, right? You could sell 10 million records and then come back and do Pumps in the Bump. You know what I'm saying? Like you could, you know what I mean? Like you could really not do anything on your sophomore album. You see what I'm saying? Like, or what you're projected to probably do. You know what I mean? So there's no guarantees unless you got, oh, he just died. So now all of a sudden, yeah, you're going to sell a lot of records. You know what I'm saying? But what if you didn't die? You didn't have any marketing behind it. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I'm talking about. It's like, yo, unfortunately, that these kids get found out that they're talented. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they'll never get found out about, but you say, oh, they really dope. And like I said, I'm guilty of it too. Nip, Mac Miller, it's a lot of people. I'm like, oh, these dudes was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, you know what I mean? You don't find out until after they gone. You know what I'm saying? That's why Big say you're nobody till somebody kills you.